Hi, I had a request to do an applique using a Sunbonnet Sue. Now when I've done my applique, I haven't actually used the applique function in generations. I'm doing it in sort of layers and I'm manually doing it. Just thought I'd clear that up to start with before somebody sort of contacts me and say you can use the applique function to do that. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to open the image that I drew in Zona Draw. And it's my Sunbonnet Sue 3. And I'm going to click Open. Now I'm just going to say Simple Artwork, Auto Select, Do Not Generate Background Color, Automatically Pick Background Color and Resize after inserting, and click OK. I'm going to leave that size, click OK, maintain aspect ratio, hold down my control key, and I'm just going to get rid of these areas around it. While holding down my control key, I'm just going to say delete. Now I'm going to generate. Now that's the Sunbonnet Sue generated without me doing anything. So there you have it. Now I'm going to open a new window. I'm going to go up the top of my program and just say tile. Now I've got a couple of windows here that I don't want actually opened, so I'm just going to close that. Now I'm going to go Windows and Tile again, and that brings me both my windows. I'm just going to move them a fraction. Now it's looking a bit cramped in here because I have to sort of move my video size down a fraction so you can see what I'm doing. Now the first thing I'm going to do is select the feet of my Sunbonnet Sue, go up to the top, say Complex Fill, hit my space bar, use a stamp pattern, and I'm just going to change that to a different pattern just to give it a bit of life to it. I'll just use that one for the starters. You can use whatever you want. Preview, OK, apply, and OK again. So use whatever design you want. We can 3D view that. You can't see it because those shoes are a bit dark, but now they've got actually a fancy pattern in them. I'm going to copy, open that new window and paste and generate. And that has actually placed those shoes in exactly the same place in the other window with the fancy fill. Okay, go back to my first window. I don't want those shoes anymore, so I'm going to do a Control Delete to get rid of them. Now the next part I'm going to work on is the arm. Again, I'm not going to applique that arm, so I'm going to change it to a complex fill. Hit my space bar, select complex, select a pattern. Now I don't want anything too fancy, I'm just going to hit my random pattern, OK, apply, and OK. Now I'm going to copy, open the new window and paste that into the new window. Go back to my old window and Control Delete. Now I'm going to select the hand part, select complex. I'm going to leave it as a normal fill, so I'll just generate it, copy it and paste it into my other window. Go back to my original window and delete it. So now I'm left with the hat, the body, and also the fancy band on the hat. So now I'm going to select that fancy band, go up to the top, do satin fill, hit my space bar, go to satin, enable satin fill, select my pattern, and I'm going to select pattern 9, click OK, apply and OK again, and that's given me the fancy band on the top. I'm going to copy, go to my new window and paste it into the new window. I'm going to generate. Now I'm going to go back to my window. Now I'm not going to Control Delete that, I'm going to actually select that plus hold down my Control key and the other parts of the hat. Going to View Outline button up the top. I'm going to right click and I'm going to merge. That has merged the hat into one part of the design. That makes it easier to do an applique around it. Now I'm going to select the bottom part of the dress. Again, View Outline, right click. This time I'm going to fill a void and fill the hole left by the sleeve and the hand part of the design. Right click to deselect it and generate. Whilst I have that selected, I'm going to View Outline again and I'm going to Edit Mode. I'm going to move these just underneath where the hat will overlap. And generate. Now I can actually move that while it's selected up the line so that it's going to stitch first and it will be under the hat. Whilst I've got that selected again, I'm going to go to Stitch, Create Outline from Area Edges. I'm going to offset it minus 0.5 and I'm just going to use a single run and click OK and generate. That's going to be the line that tells me where to put my fabric. I'm going to change the colour of it to pink. Whilst it's selected, I'm going to do a Control C and a Control V and change the colour of it, select it to blue. Now I have the line that marked where my fabric goes and I have my line, once I have placed my fabric, as the tack down line. Again, while I have that selected, I'm going to do a Control V, change the colour to a green colour. Then I'm going to go up to the top, select View Outline, right click on it, create area from line, an area width of 3 and click OK and generate. Now I'm going to just move the in and out points up here out the way. Whoops, sorry, grab that by mistake. I'll just undo that so that it goes back to the right place. View Outline again, right click, divide with a line. This is so that we don't have this area stitched out in satin. Hit Enter, Escape, Generate. I'm now going to delete, Control Delete that part. So now we have placement line, we have tack down line, and we have a line we don't need because that's the one we converted to area, so I'm going to Control Delete it. So now you've got your 3 parts of your applique. Okay, now click on the fill part of the dress and Control Delete to get rid of it. Select the hat and move to the bottom. Select your 3 parts of your applique and copy and paste them into the next window. Don't worry about the order that we've got in this other window, we will fix that shortly. Okay, so you can Control Delete and that's got rid of that part of it. Now all we've got to do is the hat. So again we'll select the hat. I'm going to go to Stitch, Create Outline from Area Edges, minus 0.5, single run, OK, change the colour, doesn't matter what colour you pick as long as you haven't used it before, and generate. Control C, Control V, change the colour of that, and there you have your placement line and your tack down line. Control V, select it, grab another colour, go to your edit outline, right click, create area from line 3, OK, and generate. Now you have your hat. I'm going to Control Delete and also Control Delete the other line that we converted to area. Select 1, 2, 3 and copy. Open your other window and paste. Now you can actually close that first window and say no. We're going to drag this over and open it up. Now you have all the parts of your Sunbonnet Sue design. All we have to do now is work out the order. So first of all, I'm going to sew out the shoes. So that's fine, it can stay where it is. The next part we need to sew out is the dress. So I'm going to select those, right click and move to position 2 and click OK. So now we have the shoe and then we have the dress. Now I'm just going to select the hand and move it. The sleeve will stay where it is. So now you have all the parts except for the hat. Going to grab that, move to bottom, and then we have the hat sewing out. Now you may want to adjust this area here, so we're just going to select it and move it so that it actually sews right up to the edge of the hat. And generate. Now I'm going to actually look at the shoe and make sure that it is actually sewing underneath there. I'd like to move it a fraction higher just to make sure that we do get that covered with fabric and satin stitch, and generate. Now we can do a 3D view, and there's your actual Sunbonnet Sue as it will stitch out. All that's left now is to make sure our in and out points are in the correct place. So the shoe is fine, the placement line is fine, the tack down line is fine. I don't like where it's finishing for the actual satin stitch of there, so I'm going to move my in point over here and I'm going to move my out point over to here and generate. The hand is right. I'm just going to move these over and generate. Now the hat starts and stops there, and the same for the next. The satin stitch can start up there and I'll end it where I want the band to start. Generate. So the band is going to start here and end here. I'll generate. Now you'll also notice down the side here we have heaps of colours. That's fine because the machine will stop to allow you to do the placement of fabrics, etc. that you need to do for this design. I hope that has helped you with your applique using multiple parts and combining satin stitches, etc., or whatever fancy stitches you want to use. You can of course watch your design stitch out just to see what it will look like and to make sure it is going to stitch out exactly how you want it to. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson.